Shalom, Yahshua, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised. Hallelujah, to his holy and glorious name. Yes, yes, yes. So, as always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by SHAM, MASHAYACH, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by SHAM, MASHAYACH. I'll start off with Colossians 3:17 because the MASHAYACH said in St. John 14:6, I am the way to show you how to follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, which is the truth that's going to lead to everlasting life. And he said, no man come to the Father but by me. He said, you ask anything in my name, I will do it, that the Father could be glorified in the Son, in the MASHAYACH. So if you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. Okay, so in Ephesians 5:20 says, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father, in the name of the Lord and Savior. SHAM, MASHAYACH. So this is not anything that's new, and there is no New Testament when he's saying these words. Understand this. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Let's go to the law today. Let's go back to Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter. And let's start at verse 13 through 15. Deuteronomy 10:13. Furthermore, the Most High spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Oh, wow. Talk about us. He said we are stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked. It's cold, boy. You know. That's real. Talk about us. You know. Said we are stiff-necked people. When it comes to him, you know, we can look at it however we want to look at it, but he's saying that we as a nation is a stiff-necked people, and that's cold. Salaki. Somebody calling me knowing that. Let me turn this phone off. I have class. I've been having class on the Sabbath for 30-some years. I mean, seems like somebody would know by now, right? Especially somebody that know me. Deuteronomy 10:13. Salakia. Deuteronomy 10:13. It says, to keep the commandments of the Most High and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good, right? Because he told us in verse 12, he said, and now, Israel, what does the Most High thy power require of thee? What do we require of us as the Israelites? Since we are stiff-necked people, what do we require of us? But to fear the Most High. See? He requires us, first thing he said, is something that most people don't really observe or really think that, I guess, is important. You know, I've talked about and did lessons on the fear of the Most High. He said, what does the Most High require of us? But to fear the Most High, why he called us stiff-necked. He chose to fear the Most High. Thy power, our power. Your power is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob been the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Them 12 tribes that y'all should know by heart. You say you're an Israelite, you should know, you should better say the tribes off the top of your head. What if somebody asks you, well, who are the 12 tribes? What you gonna do? Sit there and look dumb? It's our nation. What do the Most High require of us? But to fear the Most High, that means to be afraid of him, to be scared of him. A lot of you don't want to accept that. But you know what the word fear means, right? But to fear the Most High, thy power, to walk in all his ways and to love him. and to serve the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. He said to keep the commandments of the Most High and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. You see? That's why I couldn't leave out verse 12. Because that's the first thing he told us to do, was to fear the Most High. But see, that's not being taught enough, why people don't fear them, and that's why people don't really talk about them much. But you say you love him, you're going to go to him whenever you need something, or you want him to do something. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Most High's. You hear that? The heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Most High's. Thy power. That's a personal, that thy is your power. Israelites. That's our power. A personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. You can't see where he said nobody else's power but ours. The earth also, with all that therein is. You hear that? No matter what you see on this earth, Most High said, behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Most High's. But here we are thinking we got something going on. He said everything. Listen. Thy power, your power, 12 tribes of Israel, say the earth also. Aren't we in the earth with all that therein is? It's the Most High's. Only the Most High had a delight in thy fathers, to love them. And he chose their seed after them. We the seed of our forefathers, even you, even us, 12 tribes of Israel, above all people, as it is this day. I love it. He said, as it is this day. That's why I look at Matthew 15:20. No, before you go jump down to verse 20. He said, thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, 12 tribes of Israel. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy power. That thou dost do, that thou done for thee, that has done for thee, that has done for thee these great and terrible things which thine eyes have seen. You see, we didn't see them, but we can read about them. We know. Thy fathers, our forefathers, went down into Egypt with 70, with 70 persons. And now the Most High, thy power, hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude. Man, we came out 600,000 men. They're telling how many women, don't say how many women and children. That's why he say he made us like the stars of heaven for multitude. And we're the least of all the nations. Matthew 15:24. Matthew 15:24. This is MASHAYACH, the only begotten Son of the Most High. What did he say? And he's saying this just to calm the apostles down, because this so-called white woman was bothering them, wanting them to dismiss this devil that was in her daughter. And it was like, send her away. She bothering, she was bothering us. So to calm them down, he said this. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Period. That's why Matthew 1:21. Matthew 1:21. See, these are scriptures that you're not going to hear any kind of so-called Christian bring out, because you can't make it mean something that it don't mean. And she who was married, MASHAYACH's mother, shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name YAHAWASHI. For he shall save his people from their sins. Well, he said he only came for the 12 tribes of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He gonna save his people from their sins. That's why you're looking at salvation, powers from authority on this earth, coming back on the earth. He told the Samaritan woman that had been there from the time that Salmanessar had taken the northern tribes out of the northern kingdom into Assyria in captivity. They made 2 calves, not one. In Egypt, Moses went up, think about it, Moses went up to the mountain, Mount Sinai, to get the commandments. He was gone 40 days and 40 nights. And they made a calf. All 12 tribes was in the wilderness now. They made a calf and said, this is who brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of captivity. Think about that. How you think that made the Most High feel? That's why he wanted to kill us. He said, I'm going to kill every last one of them. And Moses cried to the Most High that he would take his name out of the book. But the Most High said, whoever did wrong, they're going to pay for what they did. While we looking at our salvation coming out of this captivity we're in now and thinking you're going into the kingdom, and he killed everybody. He killed everybody. He let us roam around in that wilderness for 40 years. He killed everybody but 2 people. Joshua and Caleb. The only adults that's written. And the children that we had within that 40-year period are roaming around in that wilderness till everybody died. He said they ain't going to the kingdom. Even Moses didn't make it. That's why when you look at what we're really, really up against, to take it lightly to think because we know a few scriptures or whatever, and being Israelites that we already gonna put ourselves in the kingdom, you better think again, man. When you understand Moses, hopefully this is gonna humble us, because I look at it as like, look how the Most High thought of Moses. Remember, he didn't make it. He saw the promise. He showed him the promised land, but he didn't make it. We trying to make it here. Look what he said about Moses. His brother and sister Aaron and Miriam talking about Moses. Talking about the Most High dealing with them like he's dealing with Moses. Because, everybody would say, that was mad at Moses, he married the Ethiopian woman. Nah. The Most High ain't said nothing about no Ethiopian woman. That we all ain't on the same page. The Most High ain't dealing with all of us the same. But I'm saying, this is Moses. Go to Numbers 12. Remember, he didn't make it to the promised land. He didn't make it there. And here we are talking about we going to make it to the kingdom, and that's why I say, dare not make thyself one of the number. Look at Numbers 12 and 4. This to show you how the Most High felt about Moses. That didn't make it to the promised land with everybody else. Only Joshua and Caleb. He killed Miriam. He killed Aaron and Moses. Hopefully this will be humbling. Numbers 12 and 4. And the Most High spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out, ye 3, unto the tabernacle of the congregation, and they 3 came out. Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. And the Most High came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth, because both of us talk about Moses. Verse 2, and they said, hath the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Most High heard it. See, these are examples I look at that we got to adhere to and learn from the examples that's here. So he told all three of them, come to the door. Verse 6, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. Think about that. So when you look at the Most High bringing forth his word unto us today, he said he's going to speak to him in a vision or a dream. That's Job 33 and 14. Get that first. Job 33 and 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. Here we go. In a dream, in a vision of the night, just like he just spoke. It's just being told how he operates. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumbers upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose. What you want to do, how you want to do it, and hide pride from man, you see. So now, that's why he's telling you. Go back to Numbers, the 12th chapter. He's telling you. In verse 6, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him. How? In a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. You see? Just like we just read. My servant Moses, same important Moses was to the Most High, is not so. Who was faithful in all mine house. Hear that? He didn't deal with Moses this way. And I'm only here to show you how powerful Moses was. And he didn't make it to the promised land. He seen it, but he didn't go in. You see, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. He said, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. Ain't gonna be no parables. He gonna understand exactly what he's saying. And the similitude of the Most High shall he behold. Wherefore, then, were ye not afraid? I guess that afraid don't mean to fear. To speak against my servant Moses. Because they talking about, and they said in verse 2, hath the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Most High heard it. So he said, hey, you wasn't afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them. And he departed. He said what he said. He said, well, you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? People ain't afraid of nobody. I mean, you can know all you know, whatever. We all on the same page, you talk to people. That's what they would do with Moses. In the wilderness, our people, that we call a stiff-necked people. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them, and he departed. It said against them, Aaron and Miriam. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. How you think Aaron felt looking at Miriam turning white, turning like the palm of your hand, turning like the bottom of your feet? And she got a lot of pigment and melanin. And all of a sudden, she just turned white. Bam, right in front of him. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my master, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us. You hear that? The sin upon us. She turned white. Aaron said, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. I'm waiting on to hear what Miriam said. Let's see if we hear what Miriam said. Aaron is crying out. Let her not be as one dead. He crying out for his sister, his older sister. Let her not be as one dead. So to be white, to be lepers, is like one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. Moses cried unto the Most High, and Moses cried unto the Most High, and Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. He begging him. And the Most High said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face. That's why you gotta be aware. That's pretty deep. For your father to spit in your face. And the Most High said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be set out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again. And Miriam was set out from the camp 7 days. 7 days of being leprous, white as snow. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. You see? So, that's very important. He said about Moses, but he said, hey, you can't go to the kingdom. You know why? Y'all don't want to fear the Most High. You don't want to give the Most High the glory for everything. Oh, praise the Most High, praise the Most High, praise. I mean, I'll say it all the time. It just comes off from me because I know what I'm reading and getting and what we should be doing, what we done. You don't want to provoke the Most High to anger. Now Moses was told to speak to the rock when we was dealing with him about we ain't have no water. We ain't got no water to drink. Complaining. You brought us out to this wilderness to die, to kill us. Complaining. So the Most High said, speak to the rock. And the angel said, he's going to bring forth his water from the rock. But Moses allowed the children of Israel get on his nerve. Like y'all know, y'all could be very nerve-wracking. And that's why listening is a very, very, very important to listening is an art and responsibility. But Moses hit the rock twice, and the Most High brought the water out because we were thirsty. He loved Jacob. But he told Moses, because you didn't give me the glory. That's what I'm telling y'all. Be in your own worlds if you want to. And everybody mostly in the world that forgot about the Most High. You don't give credit for nothing. I just look at a half an hour of disasters. It happened a couple of weeks in America. Hail coming down, big as ever. Tornadoes, clouds coming. Earthquakes in New York and New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Earthquakes in diverse places. This word is true. Don't wait till he visit you. Too late then. So because of that, Moses said, hey, that's Judah land, that's Levi land, no, Levi didn't have any land, Salakia. Because they were the priests, they were amongst all the tribes. That's why we pay tithes to Levites. They didn't have a land. But Naphtali and Issachar, Manasseh, and Simeon and Ephraim, Gad, Reuben, Issachar, Benjamin, Zebulun. He showed them all the lands where they're going to be. He took them up to a high mountain and showed him all the lands where the 12 tribes was going to be. We have a lot of land. Our land is real vast. And he told him, you go over there, you're going to die. Because you didn't give me the glory. I just read to you about how the Most High felt about Moses. Now, which one of us that's living now can say we is anywhere near as powerful as Moses? And that's what happened with Moses. Why we really have to be humble. We really have to be humble. But I digress. I just really want to express that because I don't think people really realize how the Most High feel or think about how he feels enough. If you think about the many times that you ask, how the Most High feel about this? How the Most High feel about that? Oh yeah, well, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? So you're supposed to know. That's why when the judgment come down, and all of us gonna meet the judgment seat of a MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, is he judging according to the word of the Most High? As the word of the Most High, man, ain't gonna be no excuse for us. Because it's written for us. Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, Mary, and thou shalt call his name YAHAWASHI, for he shall save his people from their sins. Not everybody, but his people. And tell you in Hebrews 7:14, for this evidence of fact that our power of MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI sprang out of Judah, Jacob's fourth born son. So that's why it's so important for us to look at these scriptures and do what we're supposed to do. First and foremost, Ecclesiastes 12:13 says what? We say it all the time as Israelites. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. I say, what does it say? Brothers say, fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Can't get to keep the commandments fast enough. But skip over fear the Most High. I'm just telling you, you can say whatever. We just learn how to read. So we always learning. We always should be trying to change. That's what born again is about, changing. To become better in the eyes of the Most High. To me, I don't know, y'all can find if something else is more important than that. I'd like to know. Maybe I need to change. If you could tell me that you know something that's more important than being marvelous before the Most High eyes, I'd like to know. But keep this in mind. Revelation 18 and 23. That this is how everybody has been deceived. The last sentence, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So I'm trying to figure out certain things. It's like, okay, well, y'all say I heard that, but you ain't changing. Or I heard that already. Okay, but you're not changing. And we that far from not being able to even communicate like we communicate now. That far from not being able to communicate like we communicate. All you gotta do is just hit the grid, boom. Electric's down, now what you gonna do? You don't have the internet. So it's telling you, by their sorceries, witchcrafts, were all nations deceived. And we're 12 nations that make up one nation. And you could say, okay, there's no enchantment with Israel, but then what did you really know? And spiritually and understanding how reading this Bible, you coming up with solutions that our forefathers showed us that we got to operate in, because it's written for us. This is written for us. What are revelations when the prophets lived? What are revelations, book of Revelations, when the apostles lived? We have it. And all these things we're looking at, you better look at, man, I can't allow these witchcrafts, these demons in high places to control what it is that I'm supposed to be learning, living and applying in my life to change. Marshall says you gotta be born again, but born again is not remaining the same. We gotta change. We gotta look at our minds being circumcised, being circumspect, and all the things that is here that our ancestors left us. Talking about calling your ancestors. So who you think we looking at when we read the Bible? These are our ancestors. Deuteronomy 10th chapter, verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. Hear that? So he tells us to circumcise, because we circumcise the male boys on the 8th day. But he says circumcise your heart. Circumcise your heart. You know, he's talking about a change in the way we think. Because the heart, read the definition of the heart in Mark 7 and 21. Salaki. Mark 7 and 21. This is the definition of the heart. Circumcise your heart, right? You say, for from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts. You see? So the thoughts, which is the way you think, is the heart. That's why he says, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, which is your mind, the way you think, your thoughts. And be no more stiff-necked, he said. Be no more stiff-necked, stubborn, and rebellious. That's what he's calling us. Jump up to verse 20. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house, these laws, such commandments. Wait a minute, let's go up a little bit. Select it. Let's start at verse 16. Deuteronomy 11 and 16. Take heed to yourselves that your heart, your thoughts, your mind be not deceived, be lied to. Remember, you know, and it's in the spirit, because Revelation 18 to 23, the last sentence says, all nations were deceived through sorceries, witchcrafts. So that's why I said, take heed to yourselves that your heart, your thoughts be not deceived through their witchcrafts. And you turn aside and serve other gods or the idols of the nation and worship them. Because that's what we're dealing with. Our people in these religions, they're not keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws at all. What religion? I've been asking for some time now, nobody really replying. You Christians, you Muslim, whoever, whatever religion, Buddhists, whatever y'all believe in, because you know we involved in everything. Take heed to yourself. He said, take that your heart, your thoughts, your mind, the way you think, be not deceived. And you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. That's what people have done. All the way back to Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Them threesomes. And then the Most High's wrath be kindled against you. That's why we went into captivity after captivity after captivity. And he shut up the heaven, shut up the earth. Our heaven. Heaven is a powerful rulership and authority on the earth. That there be no rain. He set up the heaven that we not blessed with no rain. You get no rain on your seed, man. that you plant in the ground, you're going to perish unless ye perish. There it is. Quickly. From off the good land which the Most High giveth you. And that's what happened to us. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in you, in your heart, in your mind. You see how you keep hearing heart? In your mind, the way you think, and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as faultless between your eyes, that you looking at these words, going over them, and over them, and over them, and over again and again and again. Most I speak once, yea, twice, man, perceive it not. That's why you see the same thing. He telling us the same thing over and over again. Oh, I heard that already. So Most High said it over and over and over again. Because we didn't get it, because we're stiff-necked and stubborn and rebellious. And you shall teach them your children. Speaking of them, when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Right? Oh. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house, and upon thy gates. Right? Let's go back a little bit. Let's see if the Most High don't speak once, yea, twice. Go back to Deuteronomy 6 chapter. Let's start at verse 6. And these words, see if it don't sound familiar. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Be in thy mind, right? See if it sound familiar. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house. We just 4 chapters back. Sound familiar? And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. Sound familiar? This is what we just read. So, going 4 chapters ahead, he gonna say the same thing to us. Because we're stiff-necked, rebellious and stubborn. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Most High thy power have brought thee into the land which he sware to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. You see? So going up a few more chapters up, he said, Deuteronomy 10 and 20. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied in the days of your children in the land which the Most High sware to your fathers to give them as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if you shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Most High your power, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Most High drive out all these nations from before thee, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. The same thing that's going to happen with the kingdom, restoring the kingdom to Israel. He's going to drive out all these nations from before us, and we're going to possess greater nations and mightier than ourselves. He said, every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. You know what he's saying? He's saying we can just walk and keep walking as far as we can walk. He said, every place where the soles of our feet touches the ground shall be yours. Can you imagine that? From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the utmost sea shall your coast be, all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, man. The Red Sea, all of that's ours, our land. He said, there shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Most High your power shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. He said, I said before you this day, blessing and a curse. But look, let me show you. When you look at Isaiah, I'm going to jump ahead. In the kingdom for those that are worthy to make it to the kingdom. Look what it said. Isaiah 14:1, just going into the future. Like he just said that, right? He said, there shall no man be able to stand before you in Deuteronomy 11:25. For the Most High your power shall lay the fear of you. Fear of you. That means to be afraid of, be scared of us, the Israelites, and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. You see that? This is what he said he's going to put upon them nations. Now, we look at the kingdom, they tell you in Isaiah 14:1, just give you an example. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve. And will yet choose Israel, right? And set them in their own land, right? The strangers, these other nations that's outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you, shall be joined with them. See that? And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? So, when you look at Zechariah 8:23, same thing. Let's look at verse 22. Yeah, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Most High power of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Most High. Listen, verse 23. Thus say the Most High power of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass, this future prophecy, in the kingdom, that 10 men shall take hold of all languages, because they speak all these different languages. When the Most High separated all the nations and gave them their own nation, their own language, when they was building the Tower of Babel and brought all these languages that's on this earth right now, he said 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, these Gentile nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying what? We will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High is with you. Don't put that fear in them. When there's no more anything of what you see now, as far as protection, no army, no navy, no marines, no air forces of no nation. Oh yeah, it's going to be on. Deuteronomy 11 chapter, verse 1. Therefore shalt thou love the Most High thy power, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. You know, he said always. So this never stopped. But you have these so-called ministers today been programmed with their brains polluted through cemetery schools, because they go in dead and come out deader, and believing that we don't have to follow the Most High. Anybody that say we don't have to follow his laws, his commandments, you're telling us that we don't have to follow him. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Most High your power, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, under Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. We going to get ready to go into the Passover. What was I put 10 plagues on the Egyptian? That was not for us. He said he did that to get him a name. Now, when you understand what's getting ready to go down on this earth, Why you see 10 men going to take hold of one man, want to cleave to us, because they know the Most High going to be with us as the children of Israel, not necessarily me or anyone that can claim that it's them. Because the Most High said, did not make thyself one of the numbers, so I don't claim that. But I know there's going to be Israel. They're going to take hold of the skirt of an Israelite, whoever it is that makes it. We sing. That's what. Listen to what he's saying. Your children. How can we hear this? He's saying this to us, and Moses go up to get the commandments, and we done made a calf. Make that make sense? And say, this is who brought us out of Egypt. Hear what he said? And his miracles. Seen the miracles, because nothing touched us. And it's going to be like that in these last days, with those that really, really, really care about the Most High enough for him to seclude you away from everything. But how can he exclude you from what's written in this Bible, from everything, and you have no conversation about him? Your conversation is only about yourself, your worlds. Hear this. We've seen his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. And what he did unto the army of Egypt. Hear that? Like he gonna do to the army of all these nations that live on this earth today, as is written. Why he gonna purge people out in the wilderness? Again. Because they're gonna see, look. Wait a minute. Right quick. Y'all know I like to go here. Real quick. The Army, the Navy, Marines of and Air Force of all these nations getting together. And people gonna see this. They're gonna be, whoever makes it through, to make it to Isaiah 14:1, it says you'll have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers gonna be joined with them and say, cleave to the house of Israel. They're gonna see this. They're gonna know, everybody that's there gonna know this. That's why they're gonna be cleaving to the house of Israel. Because look, 2 13, verse 9 said, hey, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together. What was mixed together? The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude. That's the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces of all these nations that's coming against MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. So that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. That's the future prophecy. So when you see them cleaving to us, 10 men to 1 man, because they know that the Most High is with us. They know that our Mashiach is with us. That's when you see him saying this, and here we are, we'd have seen the 10 plagues the Most High put upon the Egyptians. We're going to see what the Most High going to do in these last days. Witness it. As we is the 12 tribes of Israel, the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And still, like we were in the wilderness with Moses, seen all that, still murmured and complained. Here we are. These are examples that we're looking at that we want to make sure that we're not involved in being the same way. Deuteronomy 11:4. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their hired horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them, as they poured after you, and how the Most High have destroyed them unto this day. So we seen, you gotta look at this. We came out of captivity, slavery, and bondage under Pharaoh, and they really mad of the fact that every last one of the firstborn was killed. So they after us, and we scared. We crying to the Most High on the edge of the Red Sea. Most High allowed us to go across on dry ground and drown Pharaoh and his chariots and his army. And we seen it. We seen them dead on the shore. And what he did unto you in the wilderness until you came into this place. What he did in the wilderness until we came to the place, to that place. Look at verse 7. He say, but your eyes, our eyes as the Israelites, have seen all the great acts of the Most High which he did. Now our eyes going to see all the great acts that the Most High going to do as he brings judgment upon this earth, as we just read in 2 Corinthians 13, 9 to 11. Therefore, shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong. So, without keeping the commandments, since you're saying that we're not under the law, you're not strong. They're not strong. That's why they're weak up in these different religions. He said, therefore shall ye keep all the commandments. Those are the Most High's commandments that he wrote with his finger. The work of the Most High. 613, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments. We're not under the sacrificial laws for sacrificing animals for the atonement of our sins, because the MASHAYACH, the Lamb of the Most High, was the ultimate sacrifice, which I command you this day, that ye may be strong. You see, that we may be strong, and go in and possess the land, whither ye go to possess it. That's why when you look at Joshua 1 and Joshua, the first chapter, right after we came out of the wilderness, because, you know, like I said, Moses didn't make it. Miriam died first, then Aaron, then Moses. So the Most High left Joshua and Caleb, the only adults, to bring us into the promised land. Look at Joshua